So it's time for us to leave Switzerland after our awesome time in Geneva.
I can see myself living in Geneva, maybe one day.
So expensive though.
So expensive, it's ridiculous. People were telling us stories about people that come over the border every day from France just because it's like they live in France and work in Switzerland because it's way cheaper. Even though it's still expensive on that side of France right there, just by the border. But still, it's better than
just with the currency.
Just with the currency.
It's much cheaper. So exploring the city of Geneva was also awesome. It's a really cute area. So much traffic. I was kind of shocked by the amount of traffic actually. It was always rush hour or something. The lake is gorgeous. I fell in love with that lake and swimming in it was awesome.
It was very warm. It was surprisingly warm.
It was. We went to this public beach. It's out on this point and they call it like an actual lake pool. So essentially they've partitioned off a section of the lake and you can swim there or you can swim just in the lake itself. It's just awesome complex that has so many locals and so many tourists, but it was a nice mix and just
so many people.
Such a warm day to enjoy the water and the beach.
There were so many people though. It was actually like we found a nice place on a rock, but everywhere around us was just crawling with human bodies. It was fine. We had our own little space. The water was warm. We were good. So there was that. I don't really understand the point of the jet d'eau, the big water jet. They said it used to be a way to reduce pressure in their plumbing system, right? Was that it?
Yeah.
And then it turned into the highest water jet in the world.
Yeah, they decided it was this cool tourist attraction because people were already checking it out, being like, why is there a giant jet in the water? So they moved it, made it even larger, and it's now circulates lake water instead of city water. And yeah, it's the largest jet of water in Europe. So there's something to see.
Don't know where there's any other large jets of water.
No matter where you look, you kind of see it. It's not too tacky. It's just kind of funny that anywhere you look, you're like, oh, there's the jet. We're going in the right direction. Or,
yeah, exactly. This is a compass.
Oh, we're here because the jet's over there.
Yeah. The city itself is actually quite beautiful too. I thought there's some of the areas we were in little like Old Geneva.
Old Geneva is really nice.
We watched the sunset from Old Geneva.
We're about to go on a tour of this area. I'm so freaking excited right now.
Just being very quiet because it's intimidating here.
Yes, there's like some important looking people and then just other tourists, but I am so excited for the tours there.
She really is. She was acting like a child earlier. But
I don't really know what we're going to see because we don't get to see the collider, but you know, there's a lot of other research going on here, so it'll be interesting to see what exactly they do with this awesome facility. This light pattern you're seeing are caused by comet rays hitting the CERN detectors and having their random effect transmitted into the visual light. Cosmic rays come from space and bombard Earth. Scientists haven't been able to discover the origin of the waves, they are able to detect them.
Together for the magnet frame, a total of 2,500 tons of steel. Next, the two 7.2 meter diameter magnet coils are installed. With a current of 1,800 amps, they generate a magnetic field of 2 Tesla. The rectangular vacuum chamber is fixed inside the magnet. A system of large vacuum pumps is installed to evacuate the 25 cubic meter chamber so that protons can circulate unimpeded. This is followed by the installation of 2 D-shaped electrodes inside the vacuum chamber. Together with these electrodes, a radio frequency generator creates the electric fields. That accelerate protons from a source inserted in the center of the vacuum chamber. In summer 1957, the synchrocyclotron is ready. And CERN's first accelerator comes to life. The purpose of the synchrocyclotron is to produce and study new particles. Before accelerators were available, such particles could only be observed in cosmic ray experiments. The new machine accelerates protons to 80% the speed of light, producing millions of new particles when those protons collide with a target, giving scientists the opportunity to make systematic measurements. Operation of the SC requires a sequence of actions. Massive pumps extract the air from the vacuum chamber so that protons do not collide with gas molecules during their acceleration. In the proton source, hydrogen gas is ionized and a cloud of protons is injected into the middle of the synchrocyclotron. The accelerator makes use of magnetic and electric fields. The magnetic field is produced by a current of 1,800 amps flowing through the coils of the huge magnet. 2 D-shaped electrodes with opposite polarity are fixed inside the vacuum chamber in the middle of the magnet. Protons have a positive charge and are drawn towards the negative electrode as they traverse the gap between the electrodes. The magnetic field forces them to follow a circular trajectory, and they return to the gap after 1/2 turn. Meanwhile, the radio frequency generator reverses the polarity between the 2 electrodes. The protons are now attracted to the opposite electrode and gain more energy. This process is repeated over and over again. Every time the protons make a 1/2 turn, they are whipped around faster and the radius of their path increases. After more than 100,000 turns, they have reached an energy of 600 million electron volts and move at 80% of the speed of light. They are now close to hitting the target, and the first experiment can begin.
This is the quadrupole magnet used in the Large Hadron Collider. It is extremely insulated because it uses a superconductor that requires nearly absolute zero to function. Now this is the inside of what the 17-kilometer circumference LHC loop actually looks like. You can see how complicated it is to actually accelerate the tiny little particles. Which I had the biggest nerd out ever about. It was so cool to see the place where so much amazing discoveries and research is happening and has happened. We didn't actually get to see the Large Hadron Collider, but seeing the older particle accelerators that they used to use, and just seeing the technology that is incorporated into the one that's currently in use, the big huge giant ring, that was awesome. I had a great day at CERN.
I see the American one.
Yeah, me too.
I think we might be done. We also went to the Palace of Nations, where I had my own nerd out. I was actually like, I was freaking out a little bit when I was in there. I kept being like, hey, we're in the United Nations, we're in the UN. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was cool. There are 193 active members in the UN. The 2 observer states, Palestine and the Vatican, are not considered active members. There are also 11 countries that are not involved with the UN whatsoever. The UN has 6 official languages: English, French, Spanish, Russian, Chinese, and Arabic. That was really cool. A lot of places have city taxes, so you pay each, like, for like tourist fees because you're using their facilities for however many nights you're staying there. But in Geneva's, you pay the tax, and you get a bus pass, so you can use all of their transit for free. Well, technically you've paid for it, but it's
You don't have to worry.
free. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. It's such a better system for tourists to.
And you don't have to worry about tourists like playing the tourist card and not conveniently not paying and trying to get cut corners. And I mean, it wasn't a very expensive tax, but to be able to have free reign without even thinking twice, just hop on a bus or hop on a train, just because we have this fancy little tourist card, was just a really convenient way to do it. I liked that system of their transit and for tourists.
Other cities should really think about doing something like that,
Yeah.
because it would make our lives so much easier.
Yeah. So overall, it would have been nice to explore more of Switzerland. Just passing the countryside is
Zurich would have been cool.
Zurich would have been cool, but I love the landscapes here. It's probably one of my favorite I've seen so far.
By far my favorite landscapes.
So it would have been nice to spend more time maybe in some of the smaller places like Lucerne or you know, have more like the Swiss chocolate experience or something, because Geneva's also way more international as far as like Palace of Nations, and also just because it is on the French border, it's not quite as Swiss as some of the places, but I mean, for what we wanted to do, it was perfect. It just would have been nice to have more time to explore more of Switzerland.
I would have liked that too. I think we should have given ourselves more time for that, but that's
We'll
fine.
go back.
We'll go back one day. But overall, I think Switzerland and Geneva was one of my favorite places so far, I think.
And where are we off to next?
We are off to Venice.
Italy time.